my last video, and that seems to be maybe a reoccurring habit for me lately. And I had some stuff taped that I was going to edit. I did a full day of eating, and I was just going to post it all nonchalantly and pretend like there's been no gap since my last post. But then the other day I kind of thought better of it. I thought instead of just pretending like nothing's going on, I promised everybody full transparency through this prep, so I'll save that video for another time and instead use this as an opportunity to fill you all in on why I have been absent from YouTube, in case anyone cares. So where I stand right now, I guess just start, get the prep stuff out of the way. I am 12 weeks, by the time I post this, I'll be 12 weeks out. I'm like 12 weeks in a couple days, but let's be real, I won't post this right away. So I'm 12 weeks out from my first show of the year. Last I spoke with you guys, my body had plateaued. I hadn't been losing any weight, no matter what my coach and I tried to do, trying to make some things more aggressive, trying to turn back on other things. It was not responding, and which is weird for me because my body is usually pretty good about it. And we've had lots of success dieting, obviously, in my like 100-pound weight loss. So both my coach and I were kind of perplexed as to what was going on. So before we turned things up and made it more aggressive, my coach advised me that maybe I should go talk to my doctor and make sure there isn't something more going on, which just is another testament to why I love my coach and the team at Ledbetter. They do put your health first. Link below to Ledbetter. And actually I'll include in a code too that if you use it, you can get 10% off on their programs, but that's something else. But anyways, to bring it back, so Brooke recommended that I go see a doctor just to make sure that there wasn't a greater issue. So I went to see my doctor, and she was concerned right away because I have a history of some health issues. For those who don't know, I've dealt with cervical cancer, I have Crohn's disease, I've been in and out of hospitals for different kinds of reasons. Needless to say, my body always keeps me guessing. So anytime something doesn't go right or something seems peculiar, my doctor obviously becomes very protective and wanting to make sure that, I'm not going to have, like your immune system goes down, you don't want it to turn into something bigger than what it is. In chatting with my doctor, long story short, she ended up ordering me off work for a few weeks. I've been experiencing a number of symptoms over the last few weeks. Like, aside from the plateau, I've also been dealing with like random rashes, outbreaks, hives, getting sick to my stomach, but there's no flu or cold symptoms accompanying it. Like, it's just acid reflux that turns into actually getting physically ill, where I'm, was throwing up. So I was talking to my doctor about all of this, and I'm completely transparent with my doctor about everything. You have to be with your doctor. Please never be afraid to tell your doctor anything. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your doctor, then you need to get a new one, because that should be the one person at the end of the day who knows everything, because it's judgment free and they need to know the truth in order to properly diagnose you. So I was really honest with her, and she thinks a lot of it had to do with stress and how my body handles stress. Right now I'm working a full-time job that's pretty demanding. My average work week is 60 to 70 hours. On top of that, I do personal training and online coaching. So I was training clients in the morning, doing online coaching stuff at night, and then put prep on top of all that. Plus I'm teaching classes and things like that. So it's, there isn't ever an hour in my schedule week after week that is unaccounted for. Like, I literally scheduled down to the hour in my planner every single day. And I haven't been sleeping well. I've been only sleeping on average, 4 or 5, max 6 hours a night. And I guess all this to say, it all started to come up with me, and it was starting to affect me in a multitude of ways, like I explained all those symptoms. On top of that, I was sent for blood work and for an ECG on my heart, to see how my hormone levels are doing. And long story short, my doctor has put me on some medication temporarily to try and jumpstart my system again, to help me deal with anxiety and with stress. But the most important thing was realizing that I needed to take a step back from things. So this was kind of forced. I am a workaholic, in case you haven't gotten that. So having to take time off work has kind of really been a mental struggle for me. To be completely honest, I'm someone who, sorry, I'm going to start getting worked up. I'm someone who really has trouble with failure, in that I put a lot of pressure on myself, and it's not from other people. I do it to myself, but where I always feel like I have this expectation of what I need to be to other people and to myself, and I'm always afraid of coming up short. And as a result, I overpromise and I stretch myself really thin, and I take on a lot. And I think a lot of people are guilty of this. And even now, as I'm talking to you about it, I feel like I'm just sitting here being like, woe is me, like life's so hard and stuff. But I need to realize it is what it is, and that, you know, we all have a breaking point. And I think this was my body signaling to me that I was headed towards a breaking point. So I needed to start listening to others and trying to mentally wrap my head around the fact that it doesn't mean I'm a failure. Sorry, I'm getting emotional over this. This is just an exhibit A of what I do to myself. But I saw it as like I was letting my work down by having to take the time off. I was letting my coach down and my team down by not having the results that I've been trying to get. I'm letting my clients down by not being their best possible coach I could be for them. And like, I'm not even about to get into my personal relationships, where I feel like I was falling short and not giving people the attention and the love and nurturing they deserve. So I've kind of taken a step back from everything right now. I'm still prepping for my show. You know, for me, lifting in the gym is my therapy, and it's the one outlet I have where I come out of it feeling refreshed. So I'm not prepared to give that up, and my doctor understands that and supports that decision. But I do have to try and find some better balance in my life. So needless to say, that's why I've kind of been absent, was I've been trying to find that balance and not overcommit myself and still be able to do the things that I want to do. But it's been really hard. It's been really hard. I don't think I've mastered it yet. I'm still working on it. I'm actually going to do some exercises daily, some mental exercises to try and help with the anxiety, and kind of reach out more to people for support than maybe what I've done in the past. I'm usually fairly independent, and I internalize a lot of things, and I'm starting to realize that now. And all it does is hurt me in the long run, because then you feel like you're taking the whole world on, and you don't need to do that. Like, the people who love you want to help burden that weight for you. So lessons I'm learning, but lessons that have been hard. I guess why I wanted to make this video for you guys too was to let you know that that it's normal. You know, I think we're all guilty of feeling like we can always do more, and that we should be more, and we should be accomplishing more. Like, look at that person, look at everything they do. Like, how am I to complain? I know I'm guilty of that. Like, oh, this person does this, and this, and here I am, like, breaking down, doing just X, Y, Z. But comparison is the thief of joy, right? We all know that verse. It's, everybody deals with things differently. Everyone has different thresholds. And just, you don't know what that other person is going through, and they could be in the same situation or even worse off. And the first thing you need to do is protect yourself and love yourself. And part of self-love is realizing your limitations and respecting them. I'm starting to realize that that in itself is proof of growth, that growth isn't just a physical thing. It isn't just education, you know, what knowledge you get from a book. It's also learning your own capacity, your own limitations, and respecting those. That's the hard part, is learning how to respect it. I'm not perfect. I am far from over this fight, but I am a fighter, and I think I'm going to use this to really refocus myself and help myself prioritize what's important to me. And, you know, first and foremost, that's me. Because without me, I can't do any of the things that I want to do or that other people are depending on me to do. So I need to take care of myself. So if you're wondering where I've been, that's where I've been. I am going to try my best to post consistently and make time for it, but at the same point, I'm not going to stress if I miss a video 1 week. I think ultimately, anyone who wants to follow me probably has me on Instagram. If you don't, just add me and you'll definitely get updates through there. But I'll try my best to do my videos, and maybe my next one I'll give you a more proper prep update so that you actually know what's going on there. But for everybody who is prepping or who's cutting or whatever your goals are, like, it's hard and it's challenging, and don't beat yourself up over that, because trying to find this balance with everything else going on in your life is not easy. And you know, you are a warrior for doing it, and don't think of it yourself as failing. Think of it as you're growing. You're really growing. It's just, growing doesn't come easy. I guess that's where the whole phrase growing pains come from, right? This is definitely one of those pains. But I guess I'm rambling at this point. Sorry, I just keep like thinking there's so many things I want to say, but I don't want to make this so long. But I guess if anybody needs someone to talk to, someone to bounce things off of, like, please reach out to me. Support is so important, and I don't want anyone to ever think that they're alone and that, you know, their concerns or their insecurities or worries are minuscule, because they're not. They're important, and your self-worth is important, and your mental health is some of the most important things you'll ever have, so protect it. I guess that's it for now. Hopefully I will see you guys soon. Thanks.